Welcome to White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey, where today we're doing a walkthrough demonstration of a 2019 Jayco Eagle HT 324 BHTS travel trailer. We're going to give you an overview of some of the major systems in operation, starting at the front here. This is a power tongue jack, which you would turn on or off here and retract or extend using the switch. This does draw from your battery. That's included with the camper. If you did lose power for some reason, this hole pops off here and there is access to a manual crank handle, and there's a crank handle included in the storage compartment. Propane cover does have a hinged lid for access. This would go on top of the tanks to protect them. Make sure your valves are in the open position to use your propane system. Automatic regulator will show you which tank you're drawing from with the arrow. When the tank that is indicated is empty, the color will change here and it will switch automatically to the other tank for you, so you could top off the original tank. For more specific instructions or details on any of these systems or operations, please do see your Jayco owner's manuals included with the coach. This is your detachable power cord included, as well as the crank handles. And this is a spray port to hook up for outside shower and water connection. Coming down the off door side of the camper, you're going to have your utility hookups at the back here. This is where your detachable power cord goes. We have it currently adapted down here just for demonstration. There is a pipcock valve low point drain up underneath here. You can turn that toggle switch there and drain down some of the water from your fresh tank. Up toward the middle of the camper, we also have dump valves. These are clearly marked as to black or gray tanks. Black tank is toilet waste, which just accumulates in the toilet. You want to let that accumulate for a couple of days, let the chemical break down any liquids or solids, and then you would pull the black handle once you hook up your sewer hose here. A good tip is then to release the gray water valve, let that soapy water, which is stored from the sinks and the shower, down to wash through that line. Again, there is your electrical and also your spray port. Coming around to the door side of the camper, access inside here to battery disconnect switch. This is a great safety kill switch to turn off the power from the outside here if you're going to be storing the camper for a while. That way you have no draw on the battery itself. You do have an access to the spare tire, which is stored up under this model. You would use the crank handle and lower that tire there if needed. Power jacks. This is extend and retract for your jacks. We're going to extend them, show you up underneath the camper. Make sure for travel that you are fully retracting these so you have maximum ground clearance. Very easy operation there. Outside speakers, back of your hot water heater. The only thing to note here is there is a nylon plug. For winterizing, you would unscrew the plug, let the water drain down. Do replace it with a nylon plug only. Aside from that, this is auto ignite from the inside. I'll show you that switch operation. Just make sure this panel and area is kept clear, free of any cobwebs or debris, because that can wreak havoc with your systems. And then you would just close this panel and lock it with the toggle switch there. Light switch here, and again, outside electric here. Outside speakers. This is back of your refrigerator vent. There is an upper and a lower vent. If you needed to access these to clean them out, check for cobwebs, make sure it's all clean inside. Spin these latches here with a coin or a key. Just drop that panel down and make sure it's cleaned out. Outside kitchen on this model, as well as this is the back of your furnace. This is when you're running your propane powered heater. This will vent warm air, so make sure that area is kept clear. You do have a grill, sink, and refrigerator in your outside kitchen. Thermostat control for the outside fridge is up top. There is a wall backer here if you wanted to mount an outside television, as well as hook up for your cable, electric, and switches for lights. At the back of the camper, the ladder is great for maintenance. Once a season, it's recommended that you get up, check your seals and gaskets, scrape and reseal as needed. You do have an accessory receiver here if you wanted to put on an aftermarket bike rack or utility platform, as well as a connection for propane if you wanted to add a barbecue grill. Here's your utility center. This would be access to where your spray port would go for your outside shower, also for your city water connection and your black tank rinsing system. So your tank rinsing system, this would back flush the black toilet waste tank and clean that out. And you want to pay attention to your operation here. Please do check your owner's manual for specific details and instructions on how to use the tank rinsing system, or give us a call with any questions. City water is for hookup at the campground. So that would be pressurized coming into your tank from your connection. Also, you have your inputs for cable. If you had an aftermarket satellite, same thing there. And it shows you instructions, tank flush, light, pump operation, and also tank fill for city or freshwater. So your freshwater tank, if you're gonna fill your onboard water tank here, it's very easy. You're gonna put this into the tank fill position. We're now running off a freshwater tank, and city water tank would be in the down position. So for fresh water, you would fill your tank, and then you would use the water pump switch from here to pull pressure through. For city water, you're going to be pressurized right at the campground itself. Bring you up inside to the camper, show you some of the features and benefits and operations in here. Again, this is a walkthrough of a 2019 Jayco Eagle 324 BHTS HT model. For your door handle, this just lifts and stores sideways. That can go in front of your entry door, and steps just flip up and fold for travel. They'll recess up underneath the entry door. Coming up into the camper, you'll notice the breaker box fuse panel is to your right-hand side. You're gonna push this. This gives you access to your fuses and breakers. This is also a fan and vent here. You may hear this running. It keeps your converter cool. That's normal operation. I'm gonna go in and first thing turn off the stereo. We've got everything set up here. So we have television. We're pulling from air signal right now, as well as fireplace and stereo system. So we'll flip to a different channel, and then we'll turn those items off. There are remotes included for everything here. Stereo system. And also on your fireplace, you can select what kind of visual you prefer. We're gonna turn that off for right now. Also at your entry door, you're gonna find access to your system monitor panel and your dimmer light switch. The dimmer light switch would work as a push button. Tap it, your overhead lights will go on or off, or you can control the level of light as well. So we'll turn those back up. Systems monitor panel will show you your tank levels, your battery, as well as your fresh, black, and gray tank levels. Again, recommended for the black toilet waste, about 2/3 full. You wanna dump that. This is access for your water heater on propane or electric. Water pump switch would only be in operation if you're pulling from your freshwater tank, not while you're hooked up to city water. You have outside light, as well as awning, retract and extend, and slide rim mechanisms here. So your awning is a power awning. We're gonna push the switch to extend it, and I'll show you the operation here. Very easy operation. Make sure if it's windy or rainy, you want to bring that awning in and store it. And then you also have your slide room controls. All the way extended or retracted is where you want to have your slide outs. Because they seal up nicely and they're flush and level when they're all the way in or all the way out. So push the button for operation. You may hear some clicking when it's all the way in or all the way out. That's the clutch, that's normal operation, and it tells you when that cycle is complete. Pedestal table that is interchangeable with the pedestal mounts on the floor, so you can move it to whatever location you want. You can also wiggle the legs out from under the table and store that entirely away. Coming up into your bath area. Of note here, there is a GFI outlet along the wall. If you have any electrical issue, you want to check here first to test and reset. So this is your main GFI control for your camper. Shower door is glass. You want to make sure this is latched for travel. Again, just close and latch that, and that keeps it secure for travel. Switches along the wall will give you overhead lights and fan. There is a knob for raising and lowering the vent there, and then your overhead light switches. Entering your master bedroom. A couple things of note here. There is an emergency exit window. To use this, you can open the window, just lift up on the handle. You can push it and set it for just fresh air. To use it as an emergency exit window, you want to push entirely out on the window and actually detach, and you could get out that way if you had to, and then lock it again for storage and travel. This particular stock number does have a second air conditioner in the master bedroom. Thermostat is along the wall here. I'll show you the main operation of the thermostat from the living area. I have that one running currently. Courtesy and reading lights. The buttons on the lights themselves, if you press it once, you'll have a blue light, courtesy light. If you press it twice, you'll have your reading light. This is your air conditioner here. You'll see there are chill rails on the side. You can control this little knob here to open and dump some more cool air into your master bedroom if you prefer. You can also open or change the directions or more or less airflow of these vents here. You do have television wall mount backer if you wanted to add a bedroom TV, as well as cable hookup and electric above in your master bedroom here. Coming into the kitchen area, refrigerator is propane and electric. The controls are at the top of the fridge, the on and off switch. It's recommended use for automatic use. What that means is it will automatically switch between propane or electric for you. So if you get to a campground and you've been running on propane on the road and you plug the camper in, it will automatically shut down the propane and switch to the electric operation. Likewise, when you unplug at the campground, it will automatically switch over and run the cooling unit on the propane side. You can manually control it if you choose from here, running it on just propane, or you can turn it off there. Refrigerator here also has instructions right at the inside of the freezer. For travel, make sure these are all the way clicked and locked into position. And it's recommended if you're storing the camper for an extended period of time, let these doors be cracked open, get a little air in there. Kitchen area. Microwave is pretty standard, operates like your microwave at home. Does have a light and a vent on there, so you can control that exhaust to the outside and then your light. Stove is propane powered, so for operating your burners, go to the light, use your direct spark ignition, and then you can control the burner height. For your oven and stove, you want to use these controls. There is a manual on the operation of this, and there's a pilot at the back. Glass range cover. Once your stove is cool, you can lower this. Make sure that's lowered and secure for travel. Base of your kitchen island is your propane leak detector and carbon monoxide detector. This is tied in with your battery on the front of the camper and will have a slight draw even in storage. It's a good idea if you're storing the camper to use that battery disconnect switch, or you could always remove the battery and store it over the winter time. Heat vents are on the floor, air vents as you saw overhead. I'm going to show you the thermostat operation. It's on the wall by the sofa heading into the second bedroom. You can select cool, high, low, fan, or heat from this area, and you can just cycle through them and change your temperature control here. Thermostat in the master works the same way. Here's the second removable table for your living area. Pop lights, there are switches on the lights themselves. Make sure your light switches are turned on and you can control those. You do have this bunk area, can lift back and away, and it has a lock here for travel. To store that in the travel position, you'd want to take this table and move it to a different location. This is a nice sofa bed that opens up for you, as well as opposite, you have a loft. There is a 300-pound single bunk capacity and 600-pound on a double bunk. Ladder lifts up and stores, so this can lift up and out or up and store when you're bringing your slide out in. And then you do have hookup here for cable and electrical for your bunkhouse. Again, this is a feature benefit walkthrough and overview of some of the systems on a 2019 Jayco Eagle 324 BHTS HT. A couple other items along the roof line, you're going to see TV antenna. You saw the TV running earlier on a digital TV air signal. So this antenna does not need to raise or lower, but you can rotate it from here. And then these are the intakes for your Whisper Quiet main AC. You'll see one on each side of the camper. These grills are removable and there are filters there that you can clean once a season, get the dust out. Any questions on specific operations or details on this camper, please refer to your Jayco owner's manuals. We hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough demonstration. We wish you much happy RVing ahead.